Good afternoon, sports fans. This is Dan O'Mara, all set to bring you the tops in sports. In Sunday's play, it brought about several changes in the American League standings. The New York Yankees remained in front, but now have a two-game bulge. Chicago White Sox have taken over second place by a half game over the Boston Red Sox and the Cleveland Indians. Because they have played two fewer games, the Red Sox are technically third, 1 percentage point in front of the Indians. Both the National League leading Brooklyn Dodgers and the second-place New York Giants were rained out Sunday, so the picture in the senior loop is the same. The Dodgers led by 5 games. The Cubs are third, 4 1/2 games behind New York and 9 1/2 behind Brooklyn. Two National League teams added youngsters to their farm systems yesterday. The Giants signed shortstop Roger Chadwick of Cornell and catcher George Leffler of Wake Forest College. And the Chicago Cubs signed Dick Johnson, a 20-year-old outfielder from Duke University. Well, third baseman Al Rosen of the Cleveland Indians has taken over again as the leading hitter in the American League with a .336 mark. The former leader, Dom DiMaggio of Boston, dropped into a second-place tie with last year's champion Ferris Fain of the Athletics at .329. Stan Musial his National League hitters with .339. Jackie Robinson of Brooklyn has .335. Here's today's schedule in the National League. It'll be Cincinnati at New York, Chicago at Philadelphia, St. Louis at Brooklyn in a night game, and Pittsburgh at Boston, also a night game. In the American League, Washington at Chicago, Boston at Detroit, New York at St. Louis in a night game, and by the way, the Cleveland Indians and Philadelphia Athletics are not scheduled. Well, it looks as if the weatherman will make the decision, not the judges, in the scheduled light heavyweight title fight between Joey Maxim and Sugar Ray Robinson tonight at Yankee Stadium in New York. In its latest forecast, the Weather Bureau is calling for a light rain tonight with temperatures mostly in the 60s. If the fight is postponed, it will be rescheduled for Wednesday. Meantime, the National Boxing Association has a word about the fight. It says that if Robinson wins the light heavyweight title, he will automatically surrender NBA recognition of his middleweight championship. Well, quarterfinal play is scheduled in the PGA Golf Championship at Louisville today with Kerry Middlecoff in the favorites' role. Middlecoff meets Ted Kroll of New Hartford, New York, in one of the 4 36-hole matches. In other matches, Fred Haas of New Orleans faces Chick Harbutt of Northville, Michigan. Frank Champ of Houston meets Bob Hamilton of Evansville Indians, and Jim Turnesia of Briarcliff Manor, New York, plays Clarence Dozer of Hartsdale, New York. And in some news about an old-timer and a youngster in sports. In Memphis, a tennis player named Bitsy Grant, remember, won the Southern Championship for the 11th time. Bitsy is 42. He won the title on the same court where he took his first Southern Championship in 1927 when he was 16. And in Louisville, the $125,000 the Boston Red Sox paid for the services of 18-year-old Frank Baumann began to look like a sound investment. The former St. Louis high school pitcher made his first start for the Louisville Colonels in the American Association. Baumann blanked Columbus 5-0 in a 4-hitter. Well, that's it, sports fans. This is Dan O'Mara saying that's the tops in sports. This is a friendly voice of the Tri-States, KXGI in Fort Madison, Iowa. You know, when it comes to entertainment, the Legionnaires are just about the luckiest people in town. 3 nights a week, the Legionnaire Club at 1436 Avenue E features entertainment. And every night of the week, there's enjoyment for Legionnaires who like to spend an evening in pleasant surroundings. Round and square dancing is on the agenda every Wednesday when Susabelle and Ray entertain you at the Legionnaire Club. Join your Legionnaire friends for a fun-filled evening at the Legionnaire Club this Wednesday night, where you can enjoy your favorite beverages and the music of Susabelle and Ray. It's 12:15 in the Tri-States and time for the front page of the air. This area's complete news broadcast with up-to-the-minute coverage of local, regional, state, national, and international news. Well, General Eisenhower has left Dallas, Texas by plane for Las Vegas, Nevada to visit the Hoover Dam. Before he left Dallas, the general flatly denied that President Truman had offered him the 1952 Democratic presidential nomination. Governor Adlai Stevenson of Illinois has entered a Chicago hospital for a checkup. Stevenson still refuses to say whether he can be drafted as a Democratic presidential candidate, insisting that he wants to be re-elected governor. Democratic Senator Robert Kerr of Oklahoma has offered himself as unity candidate for his party's presidential nomination. Kerr said in Washington that he is neither sectional, sensational, nor single, and that this offers the best basis for party unity. Well, a British defense minister, Field Marshal Alexander, has arrived in Washington after a visit to Korea. Lord Alexander commented, "I was very impressed by what I saw. I think you're running a good show." You know, friends, Friesmeier milk is the grow food, the go food. And believe me, every member of your family needs its nourishment for that get up and go necessitated by summer activities. What's more refreshing on a hot day than a glass of ice-cold milk? And what's more healthful than that natural food that combines so many of your dietary essentials? Why, nothing. No other food gives you more food value at such little cost. Friesmeier's milk contains vital minerals, protein, and vitamins, and it's bottled at its peak of freshness. Have Friesmeier's milk delivered to your door daily by phoning 1730. There appears to be little hope for a break in the deadlocked Korean truce talks. At the latest meeting, the Reds again were told the Allies never will yield to their demand for a forcible return of prisoners. Allied tank and infantry forces have driven deeper into Chinese territory on the Western Front in Korea. The men of the United States 45th Division attacked the Reds just before dawn in the area northwest of Chorwan and then withdrew to their own lines. In the air, American Sabre jets have been roaming at will over North Korea without encountering any opposition. Well, the South Korean National Assembly is expected to postpone the election of a president, which was supposed to have been held tomorrow. The delay was insisted on by President Syngman Rhee, whose supporters are suggesting that Rhee's term of office be extended until August the 15th. Thousands of non-white persons in South Africa have been offering prayers for the success of their coming campaign of defiance against government tightening of white supremacy laws. Negroes, Indians, and people of mixed blood plan to start filling the jails in a mass program of civil disobedience, which will start this Thursday. 2 bombs exploded last night and today at the home of Israel's Minister of Communication, David Pincus. No one was injured in the bombings believed to be in protest against government decrees banning all except emergency automobile traffic on 2 days of the week. The orders were principally aimed at conserving Israel's fuel supply. For a summer supper in a hurry, try toasted cheese sandwiches made with sweetheart bread, tossed salad, your favorite cooked vegetable, and a fresh strawberry sundae. You'll find that sweetheart bread tastes wonderful and toasts beautifully to a rich golden brown. Sweetheart bread's good toasting ability is proof of the good ingredients that go into it. Try toasted cheese sandwiches with sweetheart bread soon. A newspaper in Hamburg, Germany, says that the Russians are building a huge wall of military and naval bases along the Baltic Sea coast of East Germany. The paper says the wall includes heavily fortified bunkers, coast batteries, air bases, and a network of anti-aircraft batteries. America's newest luxury liner, the United States, will be given a spectacular welcome when she docks in New York tomorrow. The newest challenger to Atlantic speed records was cheered by thousands when she left Newport News, Virginia, early this morning. The nation's newest troop transport, the Barrett, has completed her first transatlantic run to Bremerhaven, Germany. The vessel will serve as a transport for American troops and their dependents between Bremerhaven and New York. The Duke of Edinburgh is confined to his home with a feverish cold. His wife, Queen Elizabeth, attended services without him today in the Royal Chapel at Windsor Great Park. In a moment, our final story. Remember this one: a penny saved is a penny earned. Just stop and think. It is foolish to work hard, earn money, and then spend it carelessly. So save all you can by opening a savings account at the Lee County Savings Bank today. If you're a parent, you'll be teaching your offspring good thrift habits each time that you deposit a portion of your paycheck in your savings account. Set a good example and be set for the future with a bank account that you build regularly at the Lee County Savings Bank. This may be an old adage, but it's good common sense as apt applicable to present-day living. A penny saved is a penny earned. Organisers of the Aboyne Games in Scotland have laid down the law to dress designers. The supervisors of the Highland Festival have decided the designers won't know the difference between a thistle and heather and not much more about kilts. So they rule the designers must provide girl dancers with kilts long enough to cover the knees. Historically, kilts covered the knees, and the men of Aboyne have decided to remain true to history. Well, that's it. Hope to see you soon. Remember, tomorrow at noon. Thanks for listening, and to those who listened on car radios, thanks for the ride. Goodbye now. You're listening to KXGI, the 1360 spot on your radio dial in Fort Madison, Iowa. When most people talk about being right or left-handed, we seem to associate it with penmanship. But many people are never conscious of the body balance that gives them a tendency to move in one direction. The Adley Norton Woodworking Company wants you to check yourself the next time you wash dishes. When you place dishes on your drain board, it should be a natural movement, not one necessitated by inconvenience of your kitchen arrangement. Many so-called modern kitchens are improperly planned, but Adley Norton's rotation planning service means that you work from refrigerator to sink to stove with the fewest footsteps possible. You, too, can plan the perfect dream kitchen by consulting the Adley Norton Woodworking Company in Fort Madison about their rotation kitchen planning service.